Right, well, I'm going to just attempt to finish this. I'm not going to bore you with a load of it, but what I'm going to do, I've sharpened the tools, I've turned it on high speed, and that's very true there, this bit isn't. However, what I've got to do, I'm going to turn that piece to there, which is the base, and then a longish thin tenon, and then I'm going to have to cut it off. But before I do, I've got to turn the lid, which I want to be fairly long as well. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I've got to do the base first. And if all fails, you know, we can always mount it on the other way, can't we? To do the other bit, if it's not solid enough here, because nothing is. Everything's moving and flexing, and so it's never going to be very good, but it'll have to do. And then, I won't bore you with the rest of it, but what I've got to do is, after I've cut it off, and by the way, I've got some more attachments come from the Dremel today, so I'll probably use that for some of it and put a little bit of decoration on. Anyway, we'll see. So we'll just see if we can turn this little bit here for the base of it, and then I'll get on and do it and probably just show you the finish, if there is one. Well, the outside's come very good. I know it's the easy bit, but that's all right. It sanded up quite well because it didn't turn that well. Anyway, we've got that, and that's for the lid. But now for the tricky part, because I've got to do the inside. So what we're doing is, I'm going to have to turn a hole in there. Now I've got two main problems. One is I've got to do it all by hand, and the other one is I've no drill's big enough. So I can turn it, and the idea is to turn it. It's got to come from that end, hasn't it? So the idea is to turn it so that goes in as far as it does, quite tightly. And I can put some paper in it and jam it in, and then I've got a little dial gauge so I can true it up and get it fairly true, and then find the centre, and then, as I say, I've got to drill it by hand and try and keep it square. Now we're trying to go quite thin, so what I may do, because as I say, I'm so short of stuff, all I've got are these sort of things, which they never do very well. So what I'm going to have to do is do the inside with this one, hoping I don't break through, which I shouldn't do. As long as I drill a small hole in the middle, I think that'll work, and hold it, and I should get it fairly accurate, and then I'm going to end up honing it out with sanding paper, and it's fairly easy to do, that is. I can just put a bit of dowel with some emery paper around it and run it in and out as if you were honing it, and the very end, which is going to be very thin, just there, I can finish that off with the Dremel. So I think we're going to work, but it's just going to take a long while, that's all. You know, most people can do this in 20 minutes, but As I say, time isn't the issue. You know, we're only moving himself, as I keep saying. Right. So the next time you see it, it'll either be success or failure. Being as I was playing about, I'll just show you this. You might find it a little bit interesting. Now remember, it's not metal work. It's not a precision metal lathe. It's not even a wood lathe. It's just a rough shaft. And if you look, I mean, that moves nearly a full turn, and it's metric, this is. However, what you do, if you turn it round, look, you find the high point, right, which I've already done. So I'm taking that off. It's only on a screwdriver and just gently on. Just give that a tap and let's see what we've got. So what we'll do is just put that just on, push that screwdriver in, that'll hold it, that's all it has to do. Now I've got to come in a bit more. It's got to touch. Right, now if you look, it goes a long way around. So find the high point and give it a tap and see how we go on. See, it's getting better, isn't it? We're never going to get it very good. We know that. Right? We're not... It's not a... As I say. I mean, look. You can move it that much. So, we're actually not doing too badly to get it as good as we have. See, look, that immediately jumps that end there, and as soon as I touch it, it's going to move anyway. But for my job, when I was intern grinding sometimes, what you did, you put them on a magnetic chuck. So we were doing something, let's say like that nut, just for argument's sake, and I'll just tip the camera slightly. And what you did was put it on a magnetic chuck, which was a big face plate, and then you put the dial gauge on it and you just tapped it true and then ground the middle. So we've done it thousands of times. I just thought I'd show you this because it might give a slight bit of interest to one or two, might not, I don't know. But as I say, it's only to make a video in it.